You are now tuned into Musica Radio, where we talk about all things music. Today we're talking about music playlists, and as always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Playlists have been used in music to curate moods and vibes that would get the people moving through radio or a DJ set. From radio and DJ sets though, music-based channels like MTV would change playlists as we know them. But first, in order to understand this whole movement, let's talk about what singles are. So firstly, a single is a song that comes in different formats like MP3, Wave, amongst others. A better definition though from Mogul says, open quote, a single in the context of music refers to a standalone song that is typically released and promoted independently of an album. It is a popular format for artists to release their music, allowing them to connect with their audience and showcases their creativity in a concise and impactful manner, end quote. Songs usually have this push with them to give the artist, project, and themselves visibility. This article goes further to explore that before albums or EPs were a thing, singles were a big thing that screamed in people's faces more, and that's why singles stayed charting longer than they do now. Regardless of that fact though, they tend to trend long enough to create a buzz around the artist and catapult them into mainstream success and span into new audiences. Dissecting the single. There's a lot that goes into the single or song, and these elements also affect the process of curating a playlist. I'm talking about the mood to the instrumentation, the motion of the song, and the genre it fits into. A song's vitality also affects its inclusion into playlists to play what the people want to hear. History of playlists. They weren't lying when they said that curating a playlist is an art. Whenever I go to events where music is played, I tend to listen closely for a mood or constant elements in the music, from the genre and how fast or slow the songs are. Between 1918 and 1927, the jukebox is created and Martin Block plays recorded music on radio. 1964, music is recorded and distributed through cassette tapes, and this begins in Hanover, Germany. By 1972, the word playlist is used to describe the curation of DJs in the US. 1982, CDs are the hottest way to store and consume more music and get it out to the public. But then from 2001, the evolution of having playlists be created by the listeners or audiences took over from the iPod and to now the digital streaming platforms. In a Buzz Community article by Genevieve Vera on understanding playlists, she explains that the curation of playlists were based off of DJs' preferred music and that they would then be known for that specific genre. She then reveals the process of radio playlisting, which is intense planning, research, and selection. So that led to different niches being played, later causing the audience to disconnect to the cause. So as a result, quote, music compiler for 5FM Sotoris Moldovanos describes the process of adding new songs as a filtering system. Music is first and foremost submitted to the music department. It is then filtered to a short list which is played once a week to a music committee that then selects which song will be added. The committee is often made up of a group of undisclosed professionals in the music industry, an equal mix of guys and girls who are part of the 5FM team and have a good knowledge of music and the club scene in South Africa, Moldovos explains, end quote. Basically, music then went through a selection process that determined what was the most eligible to be a hit and be played for the wider audience. In what Vera calls specialty shows, she explains that radio has specialty shows that would play music specific to a genre, but it would be dependent on the time of the day. And my guess is that pop was played during the day because we're more conditioned to listen to upbeat music. But then, just as there's a flaw to every system, radio has what is called payola, which I've been hearing a lot about, especially concerning pop artists. What this word means is that money is paid to push a song to be played multiple times to be popular, and this would affect the integrity of the artist's work. Music channels. Here we are, folks. We are going to be talking about the notorious, oh so lovely, game changer amongst many, MTV, or should I say, music television. MTV is a cable television network, and it would broadcast music videos on a constant loop promoting an artist's song. At its start, MTV wasn't that popular. It is said that, open quote, MTV debuted just after midnight on August 1st, 1981, with a broadcast of Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles. Following the format of Top 40 Radio, video disc jockeys or VJs introduced music and bantered about music news between clips. After an initial splash, the network struggled in its early years. The music radio reservoir was then somewhat shallow, resulting in frequent competition of clips, and cable television remained a luxury that had not yet quite found its market. MTV expanded its programming to include rhythm and blues artists, and the network took off. End quote. This would help the exposure of songs and people to grow to love a song more based off of the music video. The visuals became as important as the song at this point, and meant that in order for an artist's song to be a part of the playlist, they had to create eye-catching visuals. According to Britannia, when MTV would be shifted into a new corporation, the music would be categorized into genres, making a niche for artists. Not long after, though, music would stop being the channel's priority. Fast forward to the early 21st century, they would adapt to the internet. They would be what we know as streaming platforms, but as websites that would provide that service. The beginning of people creating playlists on social media. With the world at our fingertips, creating playlists was no longer solely up to the DJ, and the audience could sway the popularity of a song through social media and music streaming services by listening to their favorite songs on repeat. Before I go on, I had to reference the character Robin Brooks, played by Zoe Kravitz, and her whole theory about playlists. And she says, open quote, "Making a playlist is a delicate art. It's like writing a love letter, but better in a way. You get to say what you want to say without actually saying it. You get to use someone else's poetry to express how you feel." End quote. This curation of playlists would delve into sounds being an aesthetic like Lana Del Rey and the Coquette Girls, and Americana, hip-hop and the baddie aesthetic, Erykah Badu, Jenny Aiko, and the earthy girl aesthetic would cause sound to be associated with the look or vice versa. I think if anything, communities would be formed based off of what you listen to, and that music could further bring people together. Relevance of DJs. The accessibility of music playlisting to the audience began to create further niches of DJs and the type of music we heard when out and about. So now, this might raise the question of the relevance of DJs in the industry. But first, what is a DJ? According to the website by DJ World Girl, it is said, open quote, a disc jockey or DJ in its simplest terms is an individual who plays recorded music for an audience. This could be at a radio station, a nightclub, a wedding, or any other event that needs music. In a nutshell, I'd say that DJs put soul into the music, and by the time the performance in front of a crowd, a vibe is created and an experience is had. I think now more than ever, with all the DJs on the come up and the OGs still on the throne, this industry keeps growing and the playlists keep hitting. And so with that said, DJs are still the future of playlists and the core of the music industry. The future of playlists. Within the music space, playlists have become this marketing tool to get streams for a song, so much so that artists work hard to get their songs on their top playlist. In an article by Media called "What's Next for Playlist Innovation," it is said that, open quote, Spotify came to be the platform that really owns the playlist format, and it achieved this through a breakneck period of innovation between July 2015 and September 2016, with curated playlist brands like Grab Caviar and today's top hits, augmented with the personalized, made-for-you power triangle of Discovery Weekly, Release Radar, and Daily Mix. Spotify is that streaming platform that has cultivated the power of using playlists to draw the audience in. And what you'll notice about the Discover Weekly, Release Radar, and Daily Mix playlist is that they aren't made to create a mood but rather give exposure to artist music. And that's where playlisting involvement of streaming platforms. What DJs do is to bring similar tastes together to create a mood, whereas music companies are more interested in getting their artists recognized to generate more revenue. Playlists now play the role of influencing the audience on the next big hit. I once heard somewhere that Spotify does this thing where they replay a song a couple of times on shuffle. It's like the listener is being conditioned in a way on what's popular. To close off the segment though, I'd like to see what can playlisting do for the music industry. Maybe there's more to it, but I think all will be revealed in time. In conclusion, playlists are the wheels of the music industry. I think they allow exposure for artists, but also they highlight the importance of DJs and the work they do. I feel like there's more to this topic, and if you have some information to share, please comment down below. Thank you for watching and listening. This is Music Girl signing out.